Here
Here
we
we
are
are.
close to greatness. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. What a crew. Welcome to the Sales Made Easy podcast special edition. We are going live with some great folks for Cre8tive Con. Hopefully, everyone is able to put some comments in the comment section, and we're happy to have you. But with me, I have Tom Langdon, Dominic Damasky, and last but not least, Julie Loken. So, welcome, guys. I want to ask, what is this story with Cre8tive Con? How did it all begin? Can we start there?
Let's do it. I think Julie, had a vision and started telling people. So, Julie, why don't you go ahead?
When I was a little girl, I always wanted to be on stage. So this has been 50 years in the making. I'm just kidding. It really started a few years ago when I recognized the power of getting on stages. I recognized the power of publishing a book, getting on podcasts, and getting true organic PR and also production, learning the whole production aspect along the way. And I had an event planned right before COVID. I believe it was May 2020. Boom, we all know what happened. And then all of a sudden, these fine gentlemen came into my lives, and it made sense why it was scheduled for a different date. So that's basically the onus, the power of the P's.
Yeah, so this is really good. But what made it happen for you, Julie, where you said, I'm now at this point in my life? Was there some light bulb that went off, or were you reading something? Were you watching somebody? They said, I need to do that, or was it over like years and years thinking about it?
Now, Tom and Dom know me fairly well now. It popped into my head and I said, I'm going to do it. So then I met the right people, an amazing team. Surround yourself with an amazing team like Dom and Tom and Heidi, and make sure that you have those anchors of the same amazingness with guests and speakers. It's going to happen. There's no way out of it. So honestly, there's no huge story behind it, but just that it popped in my head one day.
Yeah, I'd say that popping in the head is a huge story. But if you want to disagree with me, that's okay, because I think that is the way it all works, is that we get this incredible thing that happens and then we go from there. And I love how you just said, I decided to do it. Yeah. So bring us to how the three of you came together.
All right.
Dom, do you want to go with that?
Yeah, I'll go and give Julie a little more credit as well. And so when she starts talking about this idea, and having known Julie for a year or so, we need to get together. We need to do an event. We need to have more people here. We need to make it exciting. We need to have stages. We need to have presenters. We need to have workshops. And so, well, that's a great idea, Julie. We need a location. And so I was all in. I never knew this, but I too had an event right before the pandemic that I was scheduling, and we were scheduling it out. And all of a sudden the pandemic didn't stop coming, and we stopped planning because of that pandemic. So I said, yeah, Julie, we need a location. We need a location. But Julie's in publishing and production and publicist world, and I'm a publisher of books, and me and Tom do a show together called Not the Smartest Guys in the Room, and we've been friends. So, and Tom's in production, Emmy nominated Tom over there. We like to say that anytime we can, but now it's three of us start talking, and we got connected through Clubhouse, and we come from different what would you call that, genres or something. And then all of a sudden we're like, well, if we did this all together, because we each believe, like, we believe in video, we believe in publishing, we believe, although I'm a publisher of books, I believe, well, you got to get your story out there, and each of the three of us do something different. So I guess that takes us to Tom, Harry.
It does. And we'll leave Richard out of this. So Emmy nominated Tom, what's your thought on all of this? Talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for the event, and I'm really happy to be teamed up with Julie and Dom and our other partner Heidi to put this event together to really help support creative entrepreneurs, right? Because I think at our core, that's what all of us are, right? Julie, Dom, myself, and Heidi, we're all creative entrepreneurs. We're all, sort of bitten by the entrepreneurial bug and want to further creative work And we live in a culture that consistently devalues creative work. It's something I come across all the time in my work. I'm sure it's, I know it's something that Dom has come across in his work, and same for Julie. I mean, everybody in the field kind of battles against the fact that creative work is consistently looked at as a hobby and not a profession. And I think it's time that we change that. I think Cre8tive Con is a good first step in that direction to help give people who share that creative entrepreneurial spirit with us opportunities to not only be inspired, but then also to take action through learning practicable tips that they can use in as soon as they leave Cre8tive Con in their businesses to further their pursuits. Right. So that's why I'm excited, because I really do think it's a step in the right direction towards shifting the way people think about creative work from, oh, that's a nice hobby, to, oh, that's a profession, that's a craft, that's a skill set, that's something we should respect and hold dear, because you can't have it both ways, right? Culture, like our society, kind of wants to have it both ways. We love the arts. We consume the arts at a faster rate than any other sort of consumable in our culture, right? But we also tend to devalue them, and you kind of can't have it both ways. If you're going to consume them at the rate that we consume them, you have to value them equally as high, and that's what I think Cre8tive Con is going to help start changing.
Oh, so good. So when you guys got together, did it all just come together, or did you say, let's have a meeting, I've got an idea? I'm curious as to how the collaboration began.
Well,
Julie?
Harry, that's a very good question. We came together. We meet every single week for hours upon hours, just going over all the details, making sure everything is streamlined. So our guests, the participants, are going to feel like it is so immersive. And I don't think there's any other conference out there like this, which gives you the experts, it gives you the hands-on experience with workshops, and it also gives you an incredible chance to network and grow your brand and business. I just have never seen anything like this out there. And this is only the first iteration. It is the activation event. So I'm already thinking to 2025.
Yeah, beautiful. Dom, thoughts?
Well, I just want to get across to everybody how important it is to let's say whatever business in, whatever storytelling you're in, how important it is to be part of each of these pillars. So why I'm so passionate about it is I am a publisher of books. I help people publish books. I love the written word. But then I see billions of people on Facebook, billions of people on TikTok. So if I have an author that can't articulate their message via video or via these other forms of social media, is their story going to be heard? If they want to be a guest on a podcast, but they're afraid to, they don't like the way their voice sounds, or if they make videos and they think, well, I don't need to learn how to write better. Well, how are you going to do your script descriptions? How are you going to explain the podcast, your video? So I just think it's so important that we really dig into each of these pillars so that people can really be the most successful they can be and elevate their story, their voice.
And Harry, you see that dragon. Let's give a big shout out to JC Dornick. He says he wants to join the party. He's here watching us live right now.
He's the MC of our party.
Yes, he is going to be leading the party. You better get ready for the party, JC.
It's going to be amazing. All right, so the energy is good. I love what Tom was talking about earlier, is about the creative types of people are often viewed as a little bit different. I used to be very similar, never realizing that I too had creative capability within me. And I think this is a challenge that many have, is because they sell themselves short of this whole idea that they can be a creator. Tom, what's your thought on that?
I absolutely agree, Harry. I think there's a lot of people that never get started pursuing their creative dreams because they're sort of systematically discouraged from it, right? And I've always kind of thought of my career path as and my career, what I do in production, as more of a craft than anything else. And what I mean by that is I think of it as a craft or a trade, in the same way that I would think of like carpentry as a craft or a trade, right? And that it's a skill that takes a long time to develop, that you have to invest a lot of effort in to develop. But over time, you get better at it, right? Through sort of consistent application, you get better at it, and you can absolutely earn a good living with a trade or a craft, just as well as you can earn a good living with a profession, right? So you can be a tradesman, you can be a craft person and earn a good living and be successful, find success, right? Whatever that is for you, whether that's financial freedom or freedom, time freedom, or whatever it is for you that you consider to be success, satisfaction in a job, right? All of those things are important. But you can find that in a creative field. It's no different than deciding to go to, to become a carpenter or start your apprenticeship with a plumber or an electrician than it is to go into production and start working with a producer as an assistant, or to go into or to start writing your first short story, or to get on a stage and speak for the first time, right? It all requires consistent effort over time. And that's one of the things that I think, that we're really pushing to encourage people to do is the only way to get started is to take that first step. And I think Cre8tive Con is a good first step for a lot of folks who are looking to get started. And it could be a good second and third and fourth and fifth step for folks who've gotten started but been discouraged, right? So that's what we're trying to do, is create a runway for people to continue moving forward, so that their entrepreneurial dreams in the creative field can take off.
Yeah, so good. Julie, why do you think people talk themselves out of this? About the idea that they can create and be special and make a difference?
It's scary, Harry. It's scary, Harry.
Scary Harry. I
It's
like it.
scary. People have a fear of success. People have a fear of failure. People have a fear of judgment, imposter syndrome. There's always excuses, and we do not make excuses here. Whatever your brand, whatever you're building, there are so many ways and so many outlets to do things, and it is scary. Everything we fear, Harry, is on the other side of fear. Everything we're dreaming of is on the other side of fear, and that's the truth. But it's scary. It's scary to be noticed. It's scary to be recognized. It's scary to have other people believe in yourself when you're in the safe bubble of being comfortable. It's just scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
I mean, I think of myself. I mean, we do compare ourselves. I know we shouldn't compare ourselves, but I grew up in sports. I mean, we had grades, all kinds of things in life taught us that we need to compare ourselves to some degree. And so we compare ourselves to others. We compare ourselves to people who are really, really, really good at things at times. So instead of doing that, what's a better thing that, Dom, that you might suggest, instead of comparing myself to Zig Ziglar or somebody who's comparing themselves to the Michelangelo or somebody? What would you suggest that they do?
Yeah, love the question. And I want everybody to think, like, I'm so caught up in this idea that there's 8 billion people on the planet right now. And I think if I try to be any of those other 8 billion people, I will fail miserably. But if I am this Dominic Damaski with this hoarse voice that roots for the Steelers, that does that, whatever weird things I do, I can do pretty good at it. But if I try to be Harry, if I try to be Tom, if I try to be anybody else, I will fail miserably. So I want people to be uniquely themselves, relentlessly themselves. Just don't worry, don't compare yourself. And I want to jump back to something you were asking Tom and Julie, that there's this thought, you compare and you look at all these other people and you wonder why are we down in ourselves? And the answer I want to give you is, anybody that told you that you couldn't do it, you couldn't write a book, you couldn't share your story didn't matter, you couldn't get up on stage, whether it was a boyfriend in high school, ex-husband, somebody at some corporate job you had, they were wrong. They were absolutely wrong. You have what it takes. And so I just like to let everybody know that no, it is not too late. If you want to take the first step tomorrow or steps 1 through 5, like Tom said, you can do it. Take those steps and it is not too late. So that's what I have for you, Harry. Thank you.
Yeah, great. The thing that comes to mind with what you just said, Tom, is people sometimes will look for this is not happening fast enough. And I think of all of these musicians that are overnight successes. I can't think of any. So that gives you an idea. A guy like Chris Stapleton, who has this incredible voice. I mean, it was like 10 or 12 years of this guy singing, writing, and then he becomes more popular in like 2015 and he's on fire. But no one's talking about the years and years of anguish sometimes people go through to get where they are today. So I think even me, I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, is like, this isn't happening fast enough. So, Tom, what's your thought on that? It looks like you're in deep thought there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're 100% right, Harry. I mean, I talk about that all the time, that there is no such thing as an overnight success, right? What you're missing are the 10, 20 years of work that went in before that person sort of achieved the high level of success that they're now being recognized for, right? So perfect example in the music industry, right? We think these sensations come out of nowhere, and then you find out they've been gigging for 20 years before they happen to be in the right place at the right time for the right opportunity to arise. And they had the courage, because of all that time that they'd put in, they had the courage to kind of step into that opportunity and take advantage of it. Right. So I think, yeah, I agree. It's something that a lot of people miss, that you have to put in the work over time. There are no shortcuts. There is no overnight success. There are no 5 steps to achieving all of your goals and dreams in the world. It takes many more steps than 5 over a long period of time, consistently moving forward to accomplish just about anything, right? So I think it's incredibly important that people are encouraged to continue moving forward. When we compare ourselves to other people, like you mentioned Zig Ziglar, right? Like, anybody who's kind of achieved at the highest level in your field, whatever your field is, right? If you compare yourself to them, you're being incredibly unfair to yourself, right? Because you're taking your position, your experience, right, and comparing it to somebody who's probably miles down the road from where you are right now, right? Somebody who's got years of a head start on you, right? Somebody who may have had opportunities that you've never had in your life. So you're being incredibly unfair to yourself when you make those comparisons, when you draw those lines. So don't compare yourself to somebody who's who's miles ahead of you down the road. Look for other people that are in a similar position on the path to you if you really want to draw comparisons. But at the end of the day, I think you have to look inward, and whether or not you're fulfilled and finding success in what you're doing is really more of a question for yourself, and not so much of a question for external validation, through comparison to other people, right? So I think, be fair to yourself, and remember that when you look at somebody who's achieved highly in your field, right? Like if you're a country music musician and you're comparing yourself to Chris Stapleton, and you've only been playing for, gigging for 2 years, like, bear that in mind. Like, grade yourself on a little bit of a curve, right? If Chris Stapleton had only been doing it for 2 years, do you think you guys would be close to each other, right? Like, grade yourself on a curve. Give yourself a little bit of grace and time to accomplish your goals. Stop rushing yourself, right? Be fair.
So good. It's great stuff, Tom. All right, so let's talk about who this big conference, this Cre8tive Con, is for. Julie, talk to me. Who's your ideal attendee, if you will?
It's someone who's looking for growth, for networking, connections, a creative entrepreneur. If you've written a book, if you're thinking about writing a book, if you want to launch a podcast, or you have a podcast that you want to grow, this is a place for you. If you want to learn production, how to look pretty on videos or handsome on videos, how to get the lighting right, how to get publicity for your brand. It's all about going back to your brand, building a brand through creativity that will get you seen and make a lasting impact. So if that's you, come meet us. We are going to have so much fun. Introvert, extrovert. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a place where you'll leave on Sunday night a different person than when you entered, and it will be a better way of leaving. And I'm just excited about the connections. I think we're going to all leave one big family, and we're going to be saying, I can't quit you, because it's about support too, and supporting our visions. And that's really what the four of us are all about.
Yeah, beautiful. The lay, I mean, you went over so many things where people can find something that interests them, whether it be podcasting, blogging, the production, making ourselves look beautiful on camera, better lighting, which I need right now. How does this look? Right? Because that's a lot. Is it like just one person after another speaking, or what's happening?
Yeah, no,
Tom, it's on you.
That's a great question, Harry. Right. So obviously, we've listed out a lot of sort of lofty goals for Cre8tive Con, right? So I guess we have to explain how it works, right? So here it is in a nutshell, very, very broken down and simplistic. Essentially, what we're going to do is Cre8tive Con is sort of broken into sort of two facets during the day, with networking in between and in the evening. So sort of in the morning, the plan is that we will have speakers on stage. That's where we'll deliver the inspiration that we're promising, right? So we'll have speakers from a variety of fields, delivering inspiration, whether it be podcasting, publishing, production, promotions, public speaking, right? So we'll have folks up on stage delivering inspiration. And then in the afternoon, we'll break down into workshops that people can register for in advance. We'll break into workshops and give you, I'm going to use Julie and Dom's favorite word that I like to throw out. We're going to give you practicable tips in those workshops. We're going to give you tools. That's
the second time you've used that today.
I know. I saw your face the first time. That's why I had to use it again.
So this is a made up word. It's not really a word, right?
Not a made up word.
It's
in the dictionary. It's in the dictionary. Look it up. It's not a made up word.
It's a real word.
It's a real word.
Okay.
But the goal is that you're going to come in the morning and get inspired to take action. And then in the afternoon, we're going to give you the tools you need to follow through on that inspiration, right? And intermixed among those two kind of those two buckets that we're going to fill for you are opportunities to connect with and network with other creative entrepreneurs, because your strength really as an entrepreneur is in your network, right? Is in the relationships that you build. Those will ultimately determine the success of your business. I think they even play a bigger role in the success of your business or your pursuit or your passion than the idea or the concept itself, right? You can have an amazing idea, but if you don't have the network to support it and the ability to bring it to life, it just founders on the vine, right? So that's what we want to do, is we want to serve up inspiration in the morning and then give you the tools you need in the afternoon to put that inspiration to work. So when you leave Cre8tive Con after we finish the day on Sunday, starting Monday morning, you'll be able to take further steps in pursuing your dreams as a creative entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I want to say, what's up, Clubhouse people? I see a lot of Clubhouse people on Facebook. What's up, Clubhouse people?
All right. Welcome, Clubhouse people.
Guys.
Hey, Harry.
This is what Julie looks like. Julie looks like.
Oh, geez.
Not just a microphone. All right. So I've got to throw out the skeptic question. Sometimes these conferences, not that I've ever been to any, bring me in, promise the world. I get tiny little pieces of stuff that say I need to spend a whole lot more money with these same people. And it's just, it catches me off guard where I walk away with like, did I really get anything out of that? So it sounds like this is a lot different. Sounds like there's real value.
Yeah.
Like,
Harry, let me
spend a lot of money.
I got to answer this first. There will be no pitches from the stage or anything like that. So you're not going to get funneled into a room and then another room and then another room where, like, what do they call that when you buy one of those like vacation places that you can never get out of. It is not like that.
Timeshare.
Yeah.
No offense to the timeshare owners
Yeah, sorry.
or
We're
sellers.
not doing that here. So really what we brought in is about 30 some speakers that we believed in, people that we're friends with, people that have the same kind of energy, people that want to help other people. So we joke around sometimes that we're going to be behind a velvet rope when we're there, but it is not going to be that. The speakers and the people keynoting, people on the panels, people hosting workshops, they're going to be in the crowd with you. They're going to be sitting beside you. So when we talk about networking, sure, you're going to have the opportunity to network with the person sitting beside you, but you're also going to have the chance to network with the people on the stages too. And there isn't a catch when you go up to them and ask them a question. Brought in the kind of people that want to answer those questions and are they are energized by helping other people. So how's that, Harry?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, what you said right off the bat, that there is no pitching. I mean, it's not just this a huge advertisement. You're flying out, you're going to Chicago, and it's just one big advertisement to what's behind door number 3.
No.
So, yeah. So,
We don't
Julie,
even have a door number 3. We barely have a door number 2.
but we have a door Nick.
We have a door
That's
Nick. Wow, that was
yes.
good. We have a
Yes,
JC Dornick.
Just working on my humor here a little bit. All right. So, what does post Cre8tive Con look like for attendees? You guys have touched on it, but is there what's the vision for people who come out? They're all juiced up. It's like, yeah, you're on your own. Go have fun.
Never.
Do what we said. So, what's your thought, Julie?
My thought is that we won't quit each other. We're building not only a place to learn and grow, but a community. And we're going to have I haven't talked to the guys yet, but it's okay. They always say yes to me. We're going to have a reunion a month after, and we're all going to just check in with each other. It is going to be a community where we support each other. And let's say we all want to support Tom on his book launch. Like, let's all help him. Let's all follow him. Let's support the podcaster. We're going to all listen. We're going to all rate and review. We're going to support each other in building our brands as creative entrepreneurs. It doesn't end here. We're going to have another live Cre8tive Con 2025. We're not sure where the venue will be. This is where, we'll have to take a step back and think about it, but it's going to be amazing. And you won't get enough of us. You're going to leave and you're going to say, I wish this was a week long. I wish this was a week long.
Yeah, I can totally attest to this. Just hanging out with you 3, I know my game has been sharpened. The saw has been sharpened just by joining up in the meetups, periodically seeing you on Clubhouse, podcasting together, having conversations. It's like you are making people's lives better by helping, share what you know. And there's just tons and tons of love that's coming from you guys. So people who want to be around good people, I highly suggest you get around these people and the rest that are in the Cre8tive Con family. It's great stuff.
And can
Any final? Yeah, talk to me.
Oh, Phil Hill. I just want to make sure we shout out Phil Hill because he's been here the whole time. He said that the virtual event, Cre8tive Con event, was amazing, and he cannot wait to meet Harry in person. And the Chicago event will be amazing. So he's coming to us live, and he's just so supportive and wonderful. Shout out to Phil Hill.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. Any final thoughts there, Don?
I have one that needs to be addressed
Sure.
Very important. One, we thank you, Harry, but I don't think we said that Harry Spate is going to be taking the stage at Cre8tive Con.
For closing us out, actually.
For everybody, that's our dear friend Harry that always brings the energy and brings the passion. He's going to be closing the show, and he's going to be all over the place. So we really appreciate you, Harry. And I know you're going to bring it, right? You're going to bring your A game.
I will be all over the place. You said it, man. That's me. That's me in action.
I'm the only one that has had the pleasure of meeting Harry in person. I don't think Tom's met him, but Harry is like the most genuine, dynamic, like boisterous, fun guy, and he loves paper cups. Cheers.
Yes, I do love paper cups. Yeah, so thank you for that, Tom. I'm really looking forward to sharing what I know and providing value for the people in attendance, and I will put my heart and soul into that for sure.
Can I just, I mentioned that the group the 30 speakers are energetic. They are people like Harry Spade. So if you want to know the kind of people we're bringing in, the caliber, yeah, they're just good people. How's that?
Yeah, and you need to. I
And
mean,
smart.
you need to go to the Cre8tive Con website, and you'll get a nice, preview of what's going to be happening there. Is that a good spot to send people, Julie?
Sure
She
is,
says
Harry.
that's
Yep.
the obvious one, Harry. Tom. Yeah. I have a statement, a special place for saying the obvious at times. Tom, what's your final thoughts here?
Yeah, I think we have sort of some pillars that we talk about on the website that you mentioned, creativecon.com. Just so everyone knows, it's CRE, the number 8, TIVECON.com, right? Creativecon.com. You can learn more about the event there. You can go ahead and click the link and get your tickets there so that we can all see you in February at the Metropolis Performing Arts Center outside of Chicago. But we talk about the pillars that we're focusing on for Cre8tive Con. We talk about publishing. We talk about podcasting. We talk about promotions and public speaking. We talk about production. But I think there's kind of an unwritten pillar that we don't talk about enough in the creative world, and that's collaboration, right? And I think what we're doing here today is a great example of that, right? Harry's invited it to come to Cre8tive Con as a speaker. He believes in the event so much that he then turned around and said, hey, I want to do a live with you guys, and I want to bring this to my community and make sure they know what's going on so that they can also benefit from this event that I believe in. It's that kind of collaboration that makes creative entrepreneurship possible. And that's the sort of the unwritten thing that we're really trying to foster at Cre8tive Con, is this idea that collaboration beats competition all day, every day. And so when Julie talks about how we're going to support each other as a community, that's 100% true because of that spirit of collaboration that's fostered by folks like you, Harry, and the other folks that are going to be a part of this event. So please, if you want to be a part of that community, if you want to be supported by and collaborate with other like-minded creative professionals, then go to creativecon.com and get yourself a ticket today. Come to Chicago, and I promise you, you will leave with inspiration and tools to further your creative dreams and the network and the community you need to take those dreams and bring them to life. So yeah, that's my final thought. Go to creativecon.com, get yourself the tickets, and we'll see you in Chicago.
Great. Every year I kind of look ahead into the year and say, what amazing people am I going to meet this year? And if you guys ever do that, but it's like you look back and over the past several years and you say, wow, I didn't know that person. And now they're a big part of my life. Some of my best friends I have never met. So I am really looking forward, because you guys came in my life relatively recently, and I know I'm going to meet more amazing people there. And I'm going to say somewhere in the year, I'm like, I never even knew this person, like one of my best friends now. So either that says a lot that I have no friends, or it says, but you get the idea. So I really, really am looking forward to this and seeing you guys and seeing the love of the people and just the inspiration. You're inspiring to me. And I know I'm just going to do my best to spread it to other people. And people who are thinking about going, these are going to be some of the people you have not met before that can change your life. So that's my final 2 cents on that. This has been a blast. Looking forward to seeing you guys. And thanks for joining me on the Sales Made Easy special edition live streaming with StreamYard. We're going to figure out how to end this stream without closing out completely. But we'll see you guys. End stream.